So good morning everyone, I am Debbie and I'm here to teach you on how to have item analysis. So first, we must have the necessary data needed. So the number of the students, the number of items, and the correct and wrong answers per item per individual student. So can you follow? So in the table here, this is my data. So in the table here, the first column comprises the individual scores of each student. These are their scores: 10, 10, 8, 9, 8, 8, 7, 10, 9, 8. In the second column, marks the letters that correspond with the name of each student. So I have 10 students and I coan them as A, B, C, D, E, F to J. So column 3 to 10 displays the correct and wrong scores per item per students. On the last row, we can also see the total correct answer per item. Say for instance, an item 1. So this is the item 1. There are 9 students who got it right because the check corresponds to check and check item, and the 0 corresponds to wrong item. So for instance, an item 1, there are 9 correct 9 total correct per item. So can you follow? So there are 9 students who got it right. So if the table is visually clear, let us proceed to analysis proper. So let's proceed to difficulty index. So difficulty index is the proportion of probability that students will answer a test item correctly. So we have also here the index range for level of difficulty and its description. Let's start finding the difficulty index of each item. In order to find the difficulty index, we need to divide the number of students who got it right for each item with the total number of students. So let's consider an item number 1. So this is the item number 1, and there are 9 students who got it right. So we need to look for the number of correct answers per item. So there are 9 students who got it correct. Divide by the 10 as the total number of students, because I have 10 students. So difficulty index is of item 1 is we need to divide it. So we need to divide 9 divided by 9 divided by 10 is, we can see that 0.9. So 0.9. So the difficulty of an item number 1 is 0.9. Can you follow? So kung akong ibisayon, we need to look for the total correct per item. So we have here 9 divided by the students. So 9 divided by 10 is 0.9, and that's the difficulty index. So another example is let's have item number 2. We have 10, excuse me. So we have 10 divided by 10 is, we can see, wait lang kayo. So we can see it that the answer is 1. So 1.0. Blurry siya. So can you follow? So another one is number 3. The number 3 item. So item number 3, also the number of total correct is 10. So same as the item number 2, 1.0. So we can have another example for you to understand more. So again, the total number per item, we have 6 divide 10. The answer is 0.6. And the item number 4 is 10. So we have 1, 10, 1.0. Another is number 6. We have 10. So divide by 10 equals 1. Let's say 1.0. Another item number 8 is also 10. Divided by 10 is also 1.0. So let's compute the number 8. Let's compute for you to understand more. So 8, we have 8 because 8 is a total correct item. 8 divided by 10 is 0.8. 0.8. Another one is the item number 9. There are 6. So we have 6 divided by 10 is 0.6. And lastly, the 8 divided by 10 is 0.8. So these are our difficulty index. So we solve all the difficulty index of each item and correspond with its difficulty index description. So good job, we are done with our difficulty index. So for the students who find it difficult to comprehend, for the first time, we always have the replay button for better understanding. As future educators, it is very important to have this topic well understood. Alright? Let us now proceed to discrimination index. So we will going to create another table. We need to have so discrimination index. So discrimination index measures how discriminating items in an item are, how well an item can be differentiated between good candidates and less able ones. For each item, it is a measure based on the comparison of performance between stronger and weaker candidates in the exam as a whole. So here we need to identify the upper and lower groups in our class. So, in order to identify the number of upper and lower groups, we need to multiply the number of students with 25%. So, in our case, we have we have 10 students. So, let's have 10 times 0.25. So there, the answer is, so we have 2.5. Since we cannot compute 0.5 as our students, we need to round it up. So therefore, we 10 times 25 equals 2.5, which will be equal to 3. Our upper and lower group must include 3 students. So there are, we should have 3 upper and lower group must include 3 students, and we can base it from their scores. So the upper student should cover 3 top students who got high total scores for the entirely of the test. So we will highlight it. So we have the high students, high scores. So we have student A. Excuse me. We have the student A. Dili ko kayo mo ang akong highlighter. The student B. And the student H. Okay, mo ang itong highlighter. So let us write it up. So the upper and the upper group. So the lower group, however, should cover the bottom 3 of the class. Since we have students with the same scores, it is of the analysis prerogative to choose between. So the upper group should cover 3 top students, and the lower group, however, should come to the bottom 3 of the class. So since we have students with the same scores, the analysis prerogative to choose between them. So can you follow? So we have the lower scores for the lower group. We have, I will choose the G7, which the lowest score is 7, and 8 because nagkan siya 8. So nag-choose na ko og gagmay nga score ni 8. So can you follow? So let us now identify the upper and lower groups. So the top 2 students are students with A, B, H. So these are their scores 10, 10, and 10, which is A, B, and H. So the bottom 3 students are G and 2 more from C, E, F, and J. Okay? 8, 8, 8, 7, and 8. So let us choose first. Sa atong napilian ganina is we have this G, F, and E. So after we have identified the upper and lower groups, we will then solve for each item. As what have I said, discrimination index point out the difference between the capacity of either upper or lower to answer certain questions per item. So this resembles a positive answer like plus 0.33. It means that the item is 33% answered correctly by the upper group. If there resembles a negative answers like negative 0.25, it means that majority 25% of the lower group answered it correctly. And if it points to 0, it means that there is a fair share between the upper and lower groups respectively. Can you follow? So, we also have the verbal description of interpretation of discrimination index. So, let's start. In our discrimination index, we need to subtract the upper group with the lower group and divide it with a total 25% of the class. So, say we'll have upper group and lower group score divided by 3 and the 25%. So, for instance is item number 1. Makita. So, the upper group score and lower group score divided by 3. So, for item number 1, we have the upper group score is 3 and the lower group score is 2. Kaya narongan man siya sa ang student G narong man. So, ang lower group is 2 na lang. So, 3 minus 2 equals 1. So, dere, nagkuhan ako. 3 minus 2 equals 1 divided by 3. So, the answer is 0.33. So, this is positive. So, therefore, our discrimination index for item 1 is positive 0.33, which means item number 1 is a good item. Can you follow? So, let's continue sa item number 2. So, 3. So, tanaw na to sa upper. Correct sila. Ang sa lower dayon, correct yapon. So, we have atong i-calculate para inyong makita. 3 minus 3 is equal to 0 divided by 3 is equals to 0. So the answer is, so in item number 2, the answer is 0. So, in our verbal description, item 2 is poor item. Can you follow? So, by far, we have done difficulty index and discrimination index. So, kung wala pa jud kay ninyo nasabtan, pwede ra otrohon ako ang number 3. So, same as kuan kanang item 3, correct ang upper group and the lower group. So, 3 minus 3 divided by 3 is also 0. Dere. Sa item number 3, the upper, item number 4. So, kita ba ninyo? Tara. So, item number 4, correct ang upper, and isa ra ang lower. So, let's calculate. So, 3 minus 1 is equals to 2 divided by 3, 0. We have the 0.66, so we need to round it up. So, we have positive 0.67 because ato siyang round off. So, same as 6, check tanan. The answer is we have this 3 minus 3 divided by 3 is 0, and same as 6 and 7, check tanan. Sa 8 is same as number 1. So, positive 0.33. Number 9. Let's see. Upper check, and the lower check. Isa ra ang wrong. So, 3 minus 2 is 1 divided by 3. I mean, 3 minus 1 equals 2 divided by 3 is 0. Positive. Ang answer is 0.66. We will round it up. 7. And positive 0.33. Can you follow? Sabtan ra? So, by far, we have done difficulty index and discrimination index. Let us now proceed to our last part for the analysis, the reliability test. Because of the absence of scientific calculator, we have been guided with a spreadsheet. So we will be using the KR20. Let us define the notations for the reliability test. So the KR20 is ang ani iyahang one is 1 PQ so the K corresponds with the total number of items. Thus K minus 1 is the total of items minus 1. So the P is simply the difficulty index and Q is the minus 1 and the difficulty index. So summation of PQ is directly solved in the spreadsheet. And lastly, the variance, which will also be given in the spreadsheet. Let us input the P in the given spreadsheet. As you can see, item analysis gives us educators the idea on how to improve or simplify our item questions. Without this, we will never get to engage with the assessments of our learners and may only create assessment tools that doesn't really matter. So to join us in another video for more teaching tips. Education is fun. Try to make difference. See you next time.